5 types of prayers that generate results. Do you know there's a way you can pray and you might actually not get your prayers answered? The Bible talks about you can pray amiss. Ask people like Abel and Cain. One of them offered a sacrifice and it was rejected, and one of them was accepted. So there are 5 types of prayer models that you should be well aware of. The first one is called praying in the Spirit, especially if you can be able to pray in tongues. There's something you do in the spiritual realm. Bible says in Ephesians 6 verse 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. And then in 1 Corinthians 14 verse 4 it says, he who speaks in tongues edifies himself. Number 2, prophetic declarations, or what we call declarations of faith. This is where you send words in the spiritual realm. You send words in your future, but the time you get there, the words have already framed your world. Now there's something that is so powerful about it. Even when King David was going to deal with Goliath, the first thing he did, he sent words. He told him, I am going to slit your throat. And what he was actually doing, he was framing his world before it actually happened. Bible says in Psalms 107 verse 2, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. If you read the Bible in Ezekiel 37, there is someone here who was commanding bones. He was being told, prophesy unto the bones. And something was happening. Anytime you use words and declare some things, you prophesy, it changes something in the spiritual realm. Number 3, it's called the prayer of inquiry. This is where when you pray, you inquire unto the Lord if you want to do something. Before you make that big move, it's always good to inquire. If before you move from one country to another, before you get married to someone, it's good to inquire so that you don't make that mistake. Bible says in Psalms 30 verse 8, this is King David, he says, so David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And God answered, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, without fail recover all. Number 4, there's also a prayer called the warfare prayer. Now this is where you come in a battle. This is not against flesh and blood. This is against principalities. Bible says in 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Number 5, it's called the prayer of thanksgiving. So powerful. By the way, anytime you pray and you start by thanking God, you go into his courts with thanksgiving. Look at Jesus. Before he raised Lazarus from the dead, the first thing he did was give thanks. Before he multiplied the bread and the fish, he gave thanks. The Bible says in Colossians 4 verse 2, continue earnestly in prayer and being vigilant with it with thanksgiving. Try these prayer models. There's something that is going to change in your own life.